Hey everybody, this is Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. This is the show where we talk about leadership according to the world that matters to you. And I want to spend a few moments talking with you about how to make it count. Now, as leaders, we are constantly involved in a flurry of activity, and depending on the length of your to-do list or the number of projects under your belt or programs under your belt, you certainly got a lot to do. And because of that, there is a temptation to engage in a lot of activity that, quite frankly, does not add value to your work. Now, that does not mean that the tasks that you're working on doesn't have value or present value, but what it could suggest is that you probably shouldn't be doing it, or someone else should be assigned to those tasks. So how do you make everything count that is on your to-do list, or how do you make things count that you can't pass on to other people? So here are a few thoughts that I wanted to share with you about how to make it count. Now, the first thing is you have to, one, identify what's on your to-do list and to determine and verify if you in fact are the right person to be doing this thing or this task. If you haven't gone through that process of determining if you are the right person to be assigned to this task or activity, you might want to do that first, because that's like the first line of defense that will help you determine how to make things count. Now, after you've identified who's the right owner, and I'm going to assume you've determined that you are the owner of the task that you're working on now, you got to give your all. If you're unable to give your all to the tasks that are on your plate, your to-do list, then you're never going to make it count. And this goes back to, again, if you have too much on your to-do list, if there's too much that's assigned to you, it is impossible to give your all. So if you're going to give your all, if you're going to give everything you have, your energy, your mind, your soul, your body to your work, and you're stretched too thin, you're really going to be giving nothing or not much of anything to all that's assigned to you. So the best course of action I would recommend is for you to lower the amount of things that are assigned to you, and with the remaining tasks that are left, give your everything. It will center your action, it will center your behavior, it will center your thinking to focus on a select few of things that matter the most. Next, if you're going to make it count, after you give your all to whatever's left to you, follow up consistently on those things. Again, this in my mind is connected to giving your all, because when you give your all to something, you not only are pouring all your energy into it, but you're also giving your energy to make sure and to follow through to make sure that it's going to be successful, or you're going to make sure that you remove any roadblocks that are standing in its way, or if it was not successful, assessing why it wasn't successful and what you could do different. This follow-up phase is only relevant if you're going to give your all to a select few of things. Now remember, and think about this now. If you have two or three major tasks that are assigned to you, you give your all, and you follow up on those things, you have the energy to not only do those things, but you have the energy to follow up on those things without overburdening yourself, because the follow up process is still relevant to the execution of the task. Imagine if you have, instead of two to three things, you have 10 things on your to do list, and you go through that list and you power through. And while still powering through that list, one of the things that you've already done needs some follow up. So now, not only are you doing the first 10 tasks, you're almost doubling, if not tripling, the work if there's unnecessary follow up that needs to take place because of inefficiencies, inaccuracies, etc. So, making sure that you dwindle down those things that you got to focus on is important. So we talked about giving your all, we talked about following up. And here's the last thing I would encourage you to do if you want to give your all. Now, you cannot be in more than one place at one time. You can't do everything yourself. You need support and you need help. That leads me to this: seek support and partnership where necessary. You have to find friends, you have to find strategic partners that can help you get to where you're trying to go. Perhaps there's something on your to do list that's really important, and you feel like you should be doing it. Well, I would recommend that if it's possible to subcontract or partner with someone who already does this thing well or better than you, so that you can reduce the stress on you, reduce the number of tasks that are assigned to you, and just work with this person or this organization to get this thing done. Because when somebody's good at something, they know how to get it done the fastest and most efficient way and still have it done on time, on budget, and done right. versus someone who is passionate about doing a task. They want to get it done, but they don't know all the tips and tricks to get it done faster, more efficient. They take the long way versus the short way. And there are multiple short ways, but an expert will say, well, the best short path to the end result that you're trying to get to is this way. Right. And that's the point of having partners and friends who are able to help you get to where you're going to go. Again, this is about making it all count. When you have partners there, partners who invested in your work because what you're trying to do, they know how to do as well. The things that are left for you to do, you can make it count. You can make it happen. You can make it become what it needs to become. And it helps you focus on the things that are most important. This is a tough thing for leaders to embrace, especially leaders who are evolving into something much greater than where they are now. It's hard for them to let go of tasks, but I'm encouraging you, friend. I am encouraging you to start to let go of things that other people can do, whether it's internal or external. Hand it off to people that can get the work done, that can assist you, and the things that are left, make those things count. Give your all to that thing so that you are contributing to the work of the team. This is Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast platform. I hope you find this helpful, and we'll see you in the next show.